But then, so he went to school there in the first grade, and he was not old enough to go to school.
I stayed up there. When we first moved up there, I would stay up there, sit outside the school, and listen to them inside.
Why?
And when the school started that year, I would have been 5 in December, which I could have went to school after I was 5.
Yeah.
But Mrs. Hazlett, the first grade teacher, told Mama to let me to come on. I stayed up there all the time anyhow, and just go ahead and start me.
So he started school when he was 5.
I was 4.
4. Would have been 5 in December.
Is that
Yeah.
the same Ms. Hazlett that taught 4th grade when I was at Leaksville graded?
No.
Okay.
Well, that would have been an old woman.
Well, that's why I was.
She was a old woman then.
This was Irene Hazlett,
Okay.
and she also taught me in the first grade. And so we both went there. I went there 1 year, and when they built a new school at Lakeside, I went over there in the 2nd grade. But he went all 3 grades in that school.
Okay.
So I then.
Was it still on Short Morgan Road?
No, this was in Carolina Heights.
Okay, so
In the 3-room schoolhouse in Carolina Heights.
I still don't know exactly where you're talking about.
Well, when you know where the Spring Methodist Church,
Yeah.
that was when that first road was Clark Road.
Right,
Well, this was the 2nd road,
further down.
yeah, further down, and it was right in between 2 other roads.
That's a U-shaped road, isn't it?
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
Short Morgan?
No, it isn't. Not Short
in
Morgan.
in Carolina
Oh,
Heights.
yeah.
Where it's spray graded was.
No, it's
Wait a
Maybe
minute.
coming
in
in.
the Lakeside School.
Oh, Lakeside.
Lakeside.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, Lakeside is where they built the new
Okay.
school.
Okay.
But anyway, what was we saying?
About the schoolhouse and going to school there.
Well, after they made an apartment out of that 3-room schoolhouse, a duplex apartment house out of that. So when I was 12 years old, we moved into that schoolhouse in one of those, and we lived there till I was 17.
Okay. And Papa was working
He was,
for
Bill
the
Chris-
same
well,
meal that
Marshall
Granddaddy
Field.
was working for.
yeah,
Marshall Field.
Marshall Field.
Okay. Did they work in the same part of the meal or anything, or did
no,
they
my-
know each other?
No,
They knew one another
they
from
knew
being neighbors.
everybody knew everybody in Carolina Heights.
Yeah.
It was just like one big family up there.
But his daddy worked in the finishing mill, and my daddy worked in the rayon mill. That was
Lily Mill,
They called it the Lily Mill. Well, it used to be the rayon mill before. It was Lily Mill.
No, it was Lily Mill first,
Oh,
then it changed to Rayon Mill.
Okay,
It was named after Lily Moorfield.
okay. Well, y'all
My-
enjoy
oh,
this. This is our
Maybe
life.
we should have said y'all were not supposed to argue.
But don't you don't remember when they
Well,
called it Lily Mill?
Yeah, I remember when I was working in it when they called it Lily Mill.
Which one was the Lily Mill?
That's down on the river. That spray
On the
cotton
canal.
mill, you know where the spray
They
cotton
tore that down.
That last mill down there. Had to go up the railroad track to get to it. But that's the way I went to work. So
So did Grandma work in the meal too?
yeah, she worked at the Rhode Island mill at one time, and then she worked at the what was that? Bedspread mill in Leaksville.
So when they were all working, who was taking care of you guys?
Well,
Were all the adults pretty much working, or were
No,
there?
very few women worked then. Very few. There in Carolina Heights, I don't guess it was over a dozen women that worked in the mill.
mm-hmm. Most of them just stayed home, took care of their families.
Well, if they didn't stay home, did they work just in the mills, or did they work other places too?
There
was no other place.
There was no other place.
No, that was
The
it.
meals were the only place to work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Unless you worked in a store, and there wasn't many of
And
them.
the stores were pretty much owned by the mills, I guess.
No,
No,
Oh, they
they
weren't?
had one down there on the canal. The company store, they call it.
Yeah.
The mercantile.
But there you could buy it during the week on credit, and then they deduct it from your wages at the end of the week.
All right, so,
And you're talking about what all Marshallfield did. They would they sold everybody the coal and wood that they used to heat and cook with,
yeah,
and that sell you a ton of coal and say to take just a few cents out each week of your pay until it was paid for.
so, do you look back on that? Was it a,
It was a good deal. That was the only thing.
yeah,
It was either that or starve to death up in the mountains trying to farm.
yeah, and this was during the 30s, of course,
20s.
20s.
20s and 30s, and
20s
30s.
and 30s, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Daddy come from the mountains. Well, Mama, her family lived down in Moore County, and so they also went down there and recruited people to come here and work. So they went and got Grandpa, moved him and all of his 9 children, up here in,
Who was
in
that?
the house.
What was his name again?
Boyd, Grandpa Boyd.
Okay, what was his first name?
Thomas Thomas McPherson Boyd, and so he was a supervisor. They brought him up here as a supervisor, and and Mama and Daddy met somehow or another, and then they got married. Well, but when they Aunt Maggie, Mama's sister, and her husband, her boyfriend wanted to get married, and Grandpa told her that she couldn't get married till Mama did because Mama was older. And see, then when you worked, you give your daddy the money.
Oh, really? Did that?
Female, you mean? The woman.
Yeah.
Did that? Yeah, I was getting ready to ask that if a boy worked, did he have to do it also?
I don't know about them. I don't know.
No, but he paid board.
But the women give their daddy the paychecks, and then he give them what he wanted them to have.
Yeah.
But
See, back then you would start work at 13 or 14 years old.
so Mama and Daddy went and got married, so Aunt Maggie and Uncle Burton could get married. They got married the same day in 1922, and so then that we won't get into all that family because you wouldn't understand.
Nobody understands all of it.
But 3 brothers married 3 sisters,
Wow.
and then one of the
Not this-
Do what?
And then one of the
Not their 3 sisters.
and then one of the
Yeah, we ain't talking West Virginia here.
one of the Thompson brothers married a sister to one of those 3 brothers.
I'm confused already.
10 minutes.